Welcome to A Dash of Life podcast, where every episode brings you a touch of spirit, a pinch of passion, and a zest for life.
Hi, thank you for returning for part two of Self Love for Women. And in this episode, just to refresh what we're going to continue to talk about, is embracing emotions, women embracing your emotions. But I also contrast a little bit with men in their emotions as well. Self care routines, we'll talk a little bit about that as well. What is your definition of success as a woman? How do you define your success? Rejecting internal criticisms. So, just coming up out of our minds and, not being so critical of ourselves. And then I close the episode out with spiritual health. And in my opinion, in my belief, I believe that we all have to have some sort of spiritual connection in order for us to thrive and live our best life. So, stay tuned. And again, if you like this, please share it with somebody you think could use the information, as well as subscribe to the channel. I appreciate your support.
Emotions. Let's get into emotions. There's this stereotype out here that women are emotional creatures, and I'm sorry, I do not. I don't agree with that position. Men are just as emotional, and I did a little bit of research before I filmed this, and there's some studies out there that say men are just as emotional as women. And if you think about it, they are. In my experience, I feel like they are. Now, we might call it something differently. We may call it like, oh, men are very passionate, but it's the same thing for women. Don't don't try to play one against the other. Women, now pregnancy, that's different. There's a lot going on with the body and things like that, whatever. But women are emotional, men are emotional. Is it more accepting for a man to be emotional? A lot of men's actions are based off of emotion. You lack that discipline. And I think that's where we need to focus, is controlling your actions based off when you're in an emotional state, I should say. Controlling your actions when you're in an emotional state. Because men do stuff very impulsively when they are in an emotional state. I've seen it. Sometimes it's a lot more violent than women, but women do the same thing. But women embrace your emotions. And I think we focus so much on not embracing our feelings and our emotions that we lack the ability to take action to prevent us from acting impulsively. And I think that's where the work is in this. So don't, if something makes you upset, there's nothing wrong with that. Speak about it, address it, and then let it go. Right? If we are going to live free, completely unattached, we have to let it go. But address it. Don't just sweep it under the rug. We talked about that before too. And for you, specific tools or things that you can do, when you're dealing with your emotions, you can journal, talk to your significant other, talk to a trusted friend about what you're feeling. Sometimes you do need that so that you can be checked. Women in general, society, women in general should not be shunned for their expression of their emotions. Overall, women, you should be comfortable with expression of emotion. Yeah, so think about that. Think about, like, when you're in your emotions, embrace it. That's what makes us human, I believe. Self-care routines. Mm. Are you caring for yourself? Can you truly say, and I'll say there's a lot of women who are on that train. They know what makes them feel good. They know what they got to do. Self-care is very critical to your mental, physical, and emotional health. Scheduling something for yourself. Self-care routines can be very much a channel for loving yourself and providing yourself with that self-love. Nope, I gotta go run before I do anything else, whatever it is, understand that is okay. And it's critical for you to maintain that self-love. And it doesn't have to be centered around beauty. you know we talk about like going to the spa and going to get our nails done and get our hair done and all of that. Yeah, that's awesome. But do something different. Do something outside of your norm. And you never know. You might have a different experience in life. All right. So, women, define success on your own terms. And again, we get this overall societal depiction of what success means. And we might be like crazy people to try to adhere to that. Like, men, what does success feel like to you? What does it mean for you to be successful in your own right? Think about it. You might be called to do something that no one else in this world has this calling. It might just be specifically for you. So, what does that look like for you? And don't allow these societal positions, stereotypes to keep you bound to this is what success looks like for you. No, we're all here for a different purpose. So somebody else's success may not look like yours. Rejecting society's pressures should be a foundational aspect of identifying and defining success for you. That internal assessment, take an internal assessment of what your goals are in life, where you want to go, what you want to achieve, and you get that from different avenues. You might be called by God to do something. You might be just very passionate about something. So do that internal assessment of what success looks like for you and what goals you want to set for yourself. And then understand that you can achieve whatever you put your mind to. You can achieve whatever you put your mind to. And I feel like, the world is yours. However, I also am of the opinion of that women, just because you can do something doesn't mean that you should. Like physically, should you be competing with a man? I don't know. To me, it doesn't matter to me. Like, but I'm just giving a different perspective. Because physically, we know men are stronger than women. There are some strong women out there, but like just physically, a man's body is so different than a woman's. Not to say that she can't do it, but should she? I don't know. It's a very good question. Only you can answer those questions for yourself. If you know in your heart you want to play football with men, by all means. But there's also what comes along with that, right? Physically. So, I don't know. It's just my opinion, but I feel like there are maybe some things that women maybe shouldn't do because physically there might be some limitations there. whatever you're working on in terms of your success, celebrate your small wins, and don't let anyone negate or uh, minimize your achievements. Celebrate you and be proud of your successes. Be proud of your progress. How about that? Man, I love it. I love this episode. I'm just saying. All right, so we're going to move on to rejecting and challenging your internal criticisms. If you're going to do that, a lot of women get in their head um, and based off of something somebody says or an experience that you had, women internalize a lot. I know I do. And there might be some criticisms in there that are telling you that you can't do something, you can't be something because of something, right? So reject that. Show up as you are. Be confident in that. And know that, one, you've put in the work, you are capable. Positive self talk in this area is definitely beneficial so that you can coach yourself, coach yourself into your own success. Don't allow somebody else's opinion of a moment in time dictate how you show up to life. It doesn't matter, really, honestly, right? Controlling your thoughts of inadequacy and replacing them with uh, encouragement about your abilities and strengths just reinforces that capability and what you're capable of. So keep that in mind. You might need to check in with a trusted friend just as a check. Sometimes we do need to be checked. Like, am I losing it here? Am I going crazy? Like with this idea. I feel like you can be whatever it is that you want to be. Is the journey going to be easy? Probably not. Most likely not. But if you're convicted in something and you feel like this is what I need to do it. You learn as you go. And then lastly, I want to talk about, and this probably could have been first, but as you know, I am very much on the team of God. And I, I feel like I would not be where I am today if it wasn't for Him and everything that He's provided for me. So I'm going to start there. But I feel like as a woman, a spiritual connection, and it doesn't, you don't have to be a Christian. This could be for anybody. A spiritual connection is critical to you being able to show up to the world as you are in a woman, and it's critical for your self-love. Being grounded in such a way that you spiritually can reach to a higher power, reach to God, and have that relationship, I feel like just gives you the opportunity to show up as you were created to be. Prayer, meditation, connecting with nature, cultivating a spiritual life is a great foundation for showing up as yourself and showing yourself self-love. That spiritual relationship can help you identify what your calling is. What is your purpose in this life, right? So keep that in mind as well. The deeper that connection, the more grounded you'll be, the less impulsive you'll be. You'll operate wisely. That I'm learning. I've learned so much in this time off from like being a nurse that the only way that you can get it is by spending time with God. So keep that in mind. Understand, who are you putting first in life? You. but make sure that you have that spiritual connection. I feel like it nurtures your soul and really reminds you of your inherent worth. Worth. I might do a episode on that, but if you have that spiritual connection, I feel like that gives you the foundation of your worth and who you are to this world and what you mean to this world. I know, getting a little deep here, but that's okay. All right, so I think that's a lot. I'm going to have to try to maybe abbreviate this a little bit and see what we got. But yeah, as a woman, as you continue to walk through your journey, self love should be the foundation of your principles and how you're showing up to the world. Be unapologetically you. If you need to be checked, you need to be checked. That's different. But understand and know that you can reject society's norms and society's definition of what a woman is so that you can show up completely and freely as you were meant to be in this world. Keep that in mind. And husbands, you need to support your woman, or partners, you need to support your woman in what she's called to do, whatever that looks like. And the next episode is going to be on couples, man versus woman. So thank you for tuning in. I appreciate you so much for listening to this. We have to empower and support our women. It is critical to the success of man. Get into it. Y'all understand that. Please like and share. Subscribe to the channel if you feel like a Dash of Life podcast is giving you lots of tools and information that you can use positively. All right. Take care. God bless. Thank you for joining us on this episode of A Dash of Life podcast. I hope today's conversation added a touch of spirit, a pinch of passion, and a zest for life to your day.